questions about how to colorize the images, so I'm just going to do a quick little tutorial. We might follow up with a second one here because there's a lot of ways to do this. But here I am in Flash, and I'm using Flash because in Flash, because Video Maker FX is one of our favorite tools, and so we want to be able to output to the SWF format, which we've shown is what you can import into Video FX. And so it's probably one of the things a lot of people want to do. If you don't have Flash, it's understandable. Now, I like to point out that you can get a free 1 month fully working downloadable version of Flash, and so you might check that out. Anything that exports at SWF might work. There are some other programs, I haven't used them very much, but anyways, let's just take a look at Flash and Illustrator, Photoshop, that kind of thing, and we'll go from there. Well, the first thing you can really do is I want to just point out that a lot of these things are ungrouped, and you'll see this kind of checkerboard or dotted pattern. Now, if they're grouped, they'll have this kind of blue outline around it. I just went ahead and grouped it real quick, and you can hit the Command or Control B to ungroup, and then you can just go for it. You can just color to whatever you want and all that kind of stuff. Now, I also like to point out that some people have said, I don't have Flash, and how can I get these colorized? Well, I just want to quickly point out that this is so easy that even if you didn't have Flash yourself, you could hire someone for $5 an hour and get a ton done, because it's just really, really quick and easy. And so I've done it myself. When I've been really busy, I've hired someone for as low as $2.50. Not very commonly, but I've done it. And just because it's so easy, and it's really just a number of programs you can do that with. Now, there's another thing that you can do. Some people really want to keep, like if we've got an animation, let's pretend that we've got one of those animations in the icons, and you're in Flash. If you group it, and you can go ahead and convert it into a symbol. I'm just going to do a quick sample here. Just name it sample, and then all of a sudden I can go ahead and tint this. And this is similar to the video that we've covered in how to tint the hands, and so we can tint this to whatever color we want, and we can get it to be another color. And so there's a bunch of different ways you can go about that. If you wanted, this would be something you do if you wanted to have the animation kind of playing, and you wanted to just tint it. And so you can also do Photoshop and other things like that. Let's take. Okay, so we're back. I didn't have this open, and so I need to grab it real quick. But let's say I'm going to use like the Photoshop. Now, we can open this inside of Photoshop, or we can open this in Flash or Illustrator and tint it. There's a lot of free bitmap tools out there. You might look into GIMP, for example, and you can do that. I'm going to go ahead and open this inside of the latest version of Photoshop, and get this open here. And you can obviously colorize this. A lot of people, you already know how to do this. And so this is something. Now, the ping image format is something that you might import into Keynote or PowerPoint instead of using the Video Maker FX or something like that. That's probably when you're really going to be using the ping images. You probably don't want to use them. Now, some people have been taking the ping images and converting them with Inkscape and getting the SVGs files that way, and you might do that if you've created kind of a more elaborate thing. I'm kind of talking on here because Photoshop is taking a ridiculous amount of time to open, but you can, anyways, if you've done a more elaborate image in Photoshop or something else like that, then you have a bitmap version of it. You can get the free version of Inkscape, which we're going to have a tutorial on, and we'll be talking about that soon. And just real quick, now that this is finally opened, or hopefully it's going to open, that's ridiculous how long that took. But obviously I can sit there and I can just paint this into a different color. And I'm just trying to find my paint tool. This is a brand new version of Photoshop, so things are kind of different for me here. But anyways, I can obviously just paint the thing, or I can use another thing that you can do in Photoshop is I can have it on a different layer, and I can do blending styles to it and do a color overlay and do the same thing. And so there's a bunch of different ways. Now, this is just the first video. We'll look at some other ways, and in a follow-up video, I'll try to cover it using some free tools.